not marinate. We get straight to the sauce. Everything saucy. You hear me? Yeah, I gotta get a cut coming up. But we gotta talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. YouTube, send out these notifications. YouTube, send out these notifications. Over nine, almost got 9,000 subscribers. Should have some type of motherfucking things popping up. But let me take that back so this can get monetized, you know what I mean? But we here to talk it. We came to talk it, and let's talk it. Boxing. Breaking news, boxing news, whatever news, you know. Ring Magazine, breaking news. This is how I feel. I'm not talking for everybody else. I'm just talking for me, myself. And 9 times out of 10, I'm talking for a lot of fans. And at the end of the day, I'm here to talk for Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki, I got your back. I got your back. These fighters are getting way overpaid, man. You know, y'all complain about your paydays, right? You got a brother that come over here, extend his hand, and pay all of your fighters. It doesn't matter if it's $1 million in Riyadh, $1 million in pesos, $1 million. I ain't saying a million, I mean $100 million in Riyadh, $100 million in pesos, $100 million in American fiat currency, etc. You're getting paid £100 million pounds, 100 million yen, whatever it is, 100 million euro. You're getting paid. You get paid, but you don't put on a performance that you got paid for. If you're getting 100 million a fight, when you step in that ring, you got to show us that you're $100 million fighter. You're $100 million athlete. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna use Devin Haney. Devin Haney was the first situation. Right? Devin Haney didn't come to scrap. He didn't come to fight. He came to survive. He came and he ran. Devin Haney did the Cameron and Boots first one. Devin Haney did the Cameron. Devin Haney ran for his life. So I'm watching the same fight everybody else watching. I'm counting the points and the scores and how many punches landed, just like copybox. But we seen it. You understand me? Shout out to Turki for Turki even trying to tell Ryan, yo, just throw some more punches so I can secure this fight with you. As long as you throw punches, I can secure the bag for you. You know? But Golden Boy ain't show up. Only person from Golden Boy showed up was Arnold Barboza. Arnold Barboza was the only fighter from Golden Boy that showed up, because when you look at the Fatal Fury weekend, all the Golden Boy fighters took a loss. Shout out to Top Rank for saving the card for T.O., opening it up on Friday, and in a way saving it. Not in a way, Raphael, one of the Vargas bros. Like, these brothers came, Top Rank came and secured it. And shout out to PBC too for Rolly getting the victory that night on Friday. But I'm using Haney because Haney came to survive. Now we're going to go towards Canelo. Canelo, you got over 64 fights, or close to 70 fights, right? You could have cut off that ring, and you getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't care if it's pesos, yen, pound, euro, American fiat currency. You got paid. You understand me? And this brother's coming over here, because I'm going to be real. The whole weekend, all the events was live. Yo, every event was live. Like, Times Square, that shit looked amazing. You know what I mean? Like, that thing looked amazing. You know? Yes, I'm one of the motherfuckers that put his foot in his mouth when I heard about the WWE, but now I see, like, alright, like, they're making the event look WWE-ish. But it's up to you fighters to come put on and perform. You understand me? It's all about you fighters coming on to perform, because at the end of the day, while that man's spending money, us, the consumers, we're still spending money purchasing these pay-per-views because we believe in you niggas. It's us consumers that's purchasing them tickets, putting asses in seats because we believe in you niggas and think, all right, Turki paid y'all all of this money, so y'all gonna put on an amazing show. And when y'all come put on, y'all don't even put on for nothing. You know? And it's sad. It's sad. You know, I know there's a lot of content creators that's being sponsored by these brothers and being paid by these brothers to create a narrative, but this is no narrative here. Y'all motherfuckers messed last weekend up. Because Canelo, like I said, you could have cut off the ring. We understand William Skull did the Devin Haney. We understand William Skull did the Devin Haney and ran. But you know, Canelo, you went through this with Laura. You went through the same problem with Laura. But you can't make an excuse for your knee. And I watch a lot of people talk about Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford don't box. He's a dog. He wants you to hit him because he's going to hit your ass back. Yeah, it's the matchmakers. It's the matchmakers, but sometimes, hey, yo, it's the fighters, man. The fighters gotta put on. Like Canelo, you got all that money, bro. You know how to cut the ring off. You know what you was dealing with because you the one that picked. Hey, hey, Cal, hey, Bundy, he saved it. That's what I said. I said Top Rank saved that weekend card. Just by T.O. opening up and people doubted T.O. into what the whole Top Rank did on Sunday from Emilio Vargas to Rafael Espinoza to NOA. Yo, you can't make none of this up. You can't make none of this up, man. Top Rank saved the card. And shout out to PBC for capturing the title. Because you look at it, Golden Boy and DHP promotion, what y'all was doing? What y'all was doing? And I always told people, right? Because me personally, I said if Devin goes the distance, he's going to get the victory. Jose got to knock him out. It didn't happen. I don't know what the fuck Jose was doing. People, Jose took a dive. No, Jose just was Jose. You know what I mean? He was talking all that crazy shit, practicing that left hook, and he ain't need to do nothing. Then when you look at for the Ryan situation, I always told people in my predictions, I said Rolly has Ryan number. Just like Ryan has Devin number. Just like Shakur, T.O., Ryan, Devin, Rolly, Tank Davis have all of their number. You know what I mean? Somebody always got their number. They got all of their numbers. You understand me? So it doesn't mean how many times Rolly and Ryan fight, Rolly's going to beat Ryan. Don't matter how many times Ryan and Devin fight, they're always going to split. If Dev outboxing, it's going to split if he don't get knocked down or drop if it goes the distance. But if Ryan get to knock him down, this is what it's always going to be. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, a lot of people going to blame Floyd. You heard, Yoda? A lot of people going to blame Floyd, man. But I tell people, because I was watching, shout out to the interview Rolly just did with Danza and them. Shout out to Danza Project, you know, good brothers commentating and stuff, you know, putting on for the sport, especially getting boxers out there, you know, to voice their facts and their opinions. But it was a key thing Rolly said, you know, like I know Ryan, I know him better than he know himself, you know. But I watched the whole saying, you know, a lot of people when they talking about Shakur and them, they say, oh well, they said that about Floyd. Floyd never ran. Floyd just was a defensive fighter. He never ran. He ain't run like Devin Haney. He ain't run like Cameron. He ain't run like William Skull. He ain't run like Lola. At least he sat there and gave you a rumble. You understand? He always was in a half-man position trying to be like George Benson. Everybody knew George Benson from Philadelphia created the Philly Shell. And he always stayed in a box formation and you couldn't hit him. So Floyd never ran. Devin Haney, Shakur, Shakur Stevenson, only problem with Shakur is that he just jump out of range. His lateral movement, he's not running like how Dev, Karen, and William Skull did. Only problem with Shakur is that he jumped far out of range, so you can't hit him. But he's coming to rumble. You know what I mean? That's the stigma we're not going to put on him because Core don't put on them type of performance. Yes, he ran from Edward De Los Santos. Even Jermaine Ortiz, footwork was way better than Devin Haney, was way better than William Skull. Even though they ran, but they wasn't using lateral movement, running back and forth like they're a motherfucking typewriter trying to do the MC Hammer typewriter dance. You know what I mean? But Golden Boy got to tighten up, man. Golden Boy got to tighten up. And we don't want to see the rematch with Rolly and Ryan because Rolly has his number. Just go straight to the Devin fight. And that's why I felt though Turkey was trying to tell Ryan, just throw more punches so we just get you the victory. Because now that I see he's too strong for you, you can't mess with him. So it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. But that's crazy how they do that, man. It's crazy how they do that, man. You know, then just by hearing, Bud is not going to run. That's the whole. Bud is not running from nobody. Bud's going to sit there and take a punch. Y'all better go back and watch. Like, them commentators need to go back and watch a lot of Bud Crawford fights because they're going to understand Bud don't put on a boxing performance. He's a counter puncher. You understand me? He's going to sit there and eat your shit. Out like Pac-Man. That's why we call Manny Pacquiao Pac-Man because he used to eat all your punches. And then the last minute of every round, he throw over 100 punches and 88 landed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you. Because now that I'm seeing this shit, like, I'm like, you know, the only problem with Shakur, sometimes he just jump out of range, but he's in there giving you that fight. He's in there giving you that fight. The only problem is, you know, he's saying his hands. Me personally, if Shakur was the counter more, he'll get the knockout. You can tell by his shoulders. He got the power just by his shoulders. You can tell. And how he throw. He got the power. He just don't want to take a punch. Was it because the Tank sparring when Tank knocked his teeth out? Was it because that? If it was, that means he woke up and became more smarter just to download data. You know what I mean? But anyway, man. Anyway, pound for pound. Anyway, pound for pound. I'm sorry to say that. Anyway, it's pound for pound, man. This is what warriors do, you know. Shout out to Cardales. He did a great job. You know, he was putting on some shit. He exposed some shit, you know, that people can see and take from. But me personally, people are, oh well, anyway got exposed. Me personally, I'm gonna say no, the fuck he didn't. He got a chin. I mean, you see his chin is kind of chinny. If you hit him, he's going to go down. The only problem, but anyway, is you got to keep them hands up so that won't never happen again. You know, we seen it happen, but in the Lewis fight, and we just seen it happen this past weekend. And when he downloaded that data, it never happened again. Yeah. I posted up. You heard Bundy? I posted that joint up on my shorts and shit. There ain't no side. That's why I tell people, right? This is what I want to get on. I'm glad you say that, yo. When we in the streets, right? And we fighting niggas in the streets, it ain't no weight class in the streets, right? There ain't no weight classes in the streets. You got little motherfuckers like me fighting big niggas. You got big niggas fighting midgets. There's no weight classes in the streets. And niggas get dropped, niggas go to sleep, niggas get beat the fuck up, all of that shit. Know what I mean? So when I hear about this, I laugh. Because I'm like, y'all saying this weight class is for a reason, right? But 175 is probably his walk-around weight. That's just, see, back then, yo, walk-around weight was your weight class. Now you got motherfuckers like, for instance, Rafael Espinosa, right? That nigga 6-something. He's 6-something. He's supposed to be fighting at 175 and all of that. That nigga squeezed his frame down to what? To what? 126? What? That's crazy. That's like a big nigga wearing 300 pounds going to my outer section and buying a small t-shirt. Or buying a size 30 jeans. 30 length, 30 waist jeans, nigga. You weigh 300 pounds. How the fuck you gonna fit in them jeans, nigga? And this is what a lot of these fighters doing. They squeezing their frame down because this is the part I hate. I watch a lot of fighters saying, oh, about Tank Davis. The rehydration clause, bro. The IBF have a 10% rehydration clause, right? The WBC have a 15 to 18% rehydration clause, right? WBA and WBO have the same, right? And boxing in general has a 21% rehydration clause, right? So stop talking about the rehydration clause when boxing in general has a rehydration clause. So what you should do, if your walk-around weight is 147, fight at your walk-around weight. So we're going to have the excuse that I was weight drained. No, nigga, you've been fighting there that whole time. So now that you had 20 fights at 135, then you end up fighting Tank at 135. Now it's a problem. You was the rehydration clause kicked in. Nah, nigga, you squeezed your body down to that. So stop the excuses. And I want people to stop that. Oh, it's weight classes for a reason, nigga. When you in the streets fighting, there's no weight classes. And by me seeing that, you know, they said Canelo had his Hillies on. They said Canelo put Hillies on. And all I'm telling Nello is, Nello, I like you. You got power. But you fighting the motherfucker that got power too. And the only thing is, he's going to stay there and fight you. No, it's going to be more like the Charlo fight. You know, it's just all about Bud punching more. You know what I mean? It's all about Bud punching more. When people be like, oh, people hit, everybody hit hard, bro. It's all about a person taking your punch. And that's what I always told my kids. You know what I mean? You can take somebody else's punch. Just participating when you being hit. Once you participate that, it ain't going to be no problem. Now it's about them taking your punch. And when they take your punch, they're nervous too, you know? Because I do music. So sometimes when I go on stage, I have butterflies in my stomach. And my legs be like spaghetti legs. Because I don't know if I'm going to get booed or not. But at the end of the day, when I'm done performing, I'll be like, all right, they love me. Even when I used to fight a lot, you know, even if I go spar, I still get that in my stomach because I'll be like, damn, No, I'm 41 years old, so I'm like, how these young niggas, nah, I mean, like, is they dogs, is they this? But I see a lot of lack in a game that when we was growing up, all of us that was growing up, that's a little older than these YNs, you know how we was taught fighting, you know, really taught the basics, you know, stick that jab, your footwork, etc., combinations, keep that motherfucking hand up, tuck that chin. In this generation, we don't see that, you know. They don't even practice footwork. Soon they go into the gym, they already hitting the pads, hitting the bag instead of working on your footwork. That's why Schofield couldn't make weight. Yeah, because the UK definitely, they just like the IBF, same day weigh-ins. You know, but shout out to my nephew-in-law, Tevin Farmer. You know, marrying my niece, you know, engaged to my niece. But no, him and Floyd Schofield talking. You know, that's a great fight. That's a great fight. But the only thing, please, Golden Boy, and Top Rank, give him his flowers, man. Because y'all robbed him too many times. The Raymond Mortalia fight, they robbed Tevin Farmer. Both for Williams to pay the fight should have been a draw. Both fights should have been a draw. Both fights should have been a draw. You know, the first time he knocked him down, exposed him. Then the second time when he fought Williams to pay he hurted his hand. You know, but William is coming. So that's why with the Shakur fight, Shakur already downloaded the data. But it's going to be a great fight. And me personally, I do agree with Shakur Stevenson. He should be the main event. Because it's like, you want from Top Rank to making $5-6 million a fight, to being the main event, you know, going to your hometown, selling out arenas, etc., even in H-Town, just to become your first fight on Matchroom, you want an undercard. Now, mind you, this is no disrespect. This is no disrespect. But Shakur's name is bigger than Bivol and Betterwood. I understand where y'all fighting at, but the world knows Shakur Stevenson's name is bigger than their names. This is no disrespect. And me personally, I felt disrespect. Now, I mean, the world felt disrespected, and I'm pretty sure Turkey felt disrespected because February 22nd, all 10 main events. You had a 10-fight card, all main events. That 10-fight card, you could have broke that down for every month. So we could have had 2 fights in a month just from Turkey. Then we would have had the PBC situation. We would have had 3 fights a month. Boxing would have been saved. But y'all promoters is just taking that man money, being leeches, instead of giving them the game. Like, oh, Turk, we understand your situation, but let's do it like this. Let's turn each main event right here. Let's let these people have their own cards. Cause now the money that you spending, whoever don't perform, we ain't fucking with them again. Real rap, we ain't fucking with them again. And now if I was Turkey, now all of the fighters that you overpaid and put on a great performance, they want to earn the bag again, send them through TKO. Send them motherfuckers through TKO. And me personally, I thought, like, remember how Top Rank threw that tournament that Andre Ward won? Me personally, I think TKO should be like that. Now I mean, technical knockouts, you know, it'd be a tournament. Now I mean, and every tournament, you know, especially for these young fighters that make it, you know, you catapult to a whole nother level. But these fighters got to show up, man. These fighters got to show up. Because it's bad. Yo, we paying, you know what I mean? Even though we got a break for this week, for last week pay-per-view, which was good, you know, double package, the deluxe. But y'all fighters got to show up, man. Y'all fighters got to show up. Now, Devin Haney, you being another main event, I'm going to me personally, I ain't paying for it. That shit got to be free on TV. We ain't paying for it. So if I was Turkey, the next Devin fight, just let it be on the zone. Cause we're not paying for what we seen. You know, and then Sugar Shane running around talking, he's the best welterweight. Nigga never had a fight at welterweight. Now, if you saying that's the best, bro, Bill Haney, please listen to me. Let Nate Jones take over the coaching job. Let him be in the corner. Let Nate Jones be in the corner, giving Devin the game. And let you sit on the side and just be an assistant. Yo, my nigga Yoda just broke it. My man just broke the news. He's the first one to say it. He's the first one to state it. And I'm riding with him and I'm agreeing with him. Devin Haney and Ryan is going to be on the Bud undercard. I truly agree with you. So if this news break, This news break, remember you heard it first from my guy Yo. Remember you heard it first from my guy Yo on All Facts No Opinion Sport Podcast. My guy was the first guy to break the news, that put it in the atmosphere. My guy did it. Devin and Ryan on the bud and Canelo on the card. I got a feeling it's going to be there. I got a good feeling it's going to be there. I got a great feeling that Jones going to be there. First one that broke the news, first one that I ever heard say this and stated it. And that's going to be crazy. He's going to have to go on the undercard. He's going to have to go on the undercard. You know what I mean? Because, Rolly even broke the news when they was fighting. He said, win, lose, or draw, they already fighting. Win, lose, or draw, they already fighting. So, could have been Ryan really took a loss and ain't throw no punches to secure the fight. So when he seen Dev fight Jose Ramirez, he like, damn, if I take this loss, no, take it, whatever, still gonna get paid, but I'm gonna fight him and dismantle him. But at the end of the day, we can't say that because Rolly have his number. And that's the key thing nobody giving credit to. Nobody giving credit to Rolly. Because people gotta remember, PEDs do not help you punch hard, man. It's plenty of people, right? When we want coochie, us men, you got some niggas that buy Viagra. You got some people that buy Cialis. That mean they on PEDs too, just to get the coochie. You got half motherfuckers drinking, smoking, whatever. It's called performance enhancement. If anything make you go for an hour, 2 hours, it ain't gonna help you punch strong. You ain't gonna help you punch hard or nothing. Because PEDs don't do that. Especially like Ostarine for the person that want the gel for Ostarine just to bring Ostarine back out. I laugh. Because when I seen that shit, I said, man, you can tell half of these people don't know about this guy. And they know what he went to jail for the Balaku situation, even though he served his time and did his time. But he went to jail for Ostarine. Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all them Olympians, all of them test positive for Ostarine in their system. That's why Victor Conte went and did that time. But that shit was crazy, man. But Ryan, no, you got to tighten up too. You understand? I understand. We know promoting the fight. We understand promoting the fight, and we know Devin and Bill, they had an out game. That's why Victor covering his ass like, oh, if this shit come back, it ain't gonna come back on me. This shit gonna come back on y'all. It's gonna come back on y'all because y'all fucking him up. And I'm being real, y'all fucking Snack up. Bill did that corny shit, fuck Snack up, man. Know what I mean? Because why? It draw more attention back to Victor Conte. You just watching Victor Conte just come home doing his job. Know what I mean? Just doing his job, helping fighters, helping people in the gym with his supplement. The supplement really worked. Know what I mean? But Bill, y'all drawn, man. Y'all drawn. That was a sucker move y'all pulled. But you can't fault Bill for only being a father. That's what father figures do. So that's why, me personally, I told my oldest son that box, I said, I can't be in your corner as a trainer because my feelings is going to get in the way. Know what I mean? My feelings is going to get in the way. Like I dropped the short, right? The brothers rumbling. Then when they hit the bell, the team jumped in and started fighting. This shit was crazy. So I told my son, 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen. So the best thing for me to do is you got your coach, which is K.O. Lewis. You got your assistant. You got your cut man. Me, I'm just your third eye out in the audience watching the fight. So when you look at me, when you're in the corner, I'm going to throw the punch movement and you know what to do because you're my child. So, know what I mean? Telepathically, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's how we do it. And everything I ever told my oldest son, he dropped down in weight, that nigga power is more dangerous and people can't handle it. So Bill, that's what you need to do. Take a seat back and let your son eat, man. Let your son eat. Because Dev ain't throw that jab at for nothing. He was scared. And by going to the corner and hearing you giving him game, bro, you ain't giving him no game. You just told him to pull the camera. You just told him to run. You told him to survive. It was no game at all. At least with Nate Jones, you had Nate Jones and Sugar Shane Mosley, a true fighter in that corner. Them guys should have been inside the ring, not outside the ring. Them guys should have been inside the ring, coaching your son, telling your son to throw more motherfucking punches. You just was worried about securing the bag, man. And if Turki, see, this is what he's doing. He's listening to y'all complain, right? So he's like, well, y'all putting on good and great fights with this type of performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help y'all out. I'm going to pay y'all the money y'all want. Just put on a greater performance. And y'all messing the performance up. Y'all messing everything up. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm at work, y'all. I'm at work. Give me a second. That's it. Leave it in here. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm at work, so gotta do this.
What man doing that?
She went to Maria de los Santos to grab that did.
For the diagnosis?
Yeah.
I hope they get it to her. They should be calling right now and they can put for both of them. Even if they give one of them a check now and they just keep applying for the other one, they give it to them. That's why I was doing Sandra. They approved David, they didn't give Sandra shit, and then she waited 2 years later, she kept approving it, and they gave her all that money.
Man.
It don't mean that something's wrong with your kid. It means that they have a behavior problem. That's all it is, a behavior problem. He got fucking money. I got that shit for Boo. I ain't got that for him.
Yeah, but Boo's situation was good. That nigga came out reading comments.
But that money comes at handy. It helps her. It helps her a lot. I've been told her. One day when I told her, I said,
I'm on live.
Oh.
I'll tell you in a little. Yeah, y'all see my motherfucking vehicle over there, man. All cars. But yeah, my apologies, y'all. My apologies. See this shit. They did me dirty. But yeah, I do believe that shit, yo, though. They gonna be on the undercard. They're gonna be on the undercard. And I wonder who's gonna open up the fight for them. You know, cause I heard Teofimo talking about July 12th. And you know, Boot should be coming back in July. You know, cause that'd be a great fight though. Shout out to my man H Money. H Money even broke that, talking about, you know, Boots and Teo fight. You know, Boots and Teo fight would be a great fight. Shout out my guy H Money Boxing. You know, it's a great fight. You know, I watch a couple people on there. You know, I watch a couple people complaining and talking about Teo, like, it's weight classes, right? So what's 7 pounds if his walk around weight is like 160 something? So would it be easy for him to make 147? You know, he already the king at 140. Yeah, he already the king at 140. Unless Teo can do that. If I'm not mistaken, Teo might can pull that off. You know, he might can go up there and fight Rolly for the belt. You know what I mean? He can go up there and fight Rolly for the belt, because Rolly threw a monkey wrench in that whole situation. You see how calm he was throughout every press conference, because he knew I'm keeping that hand up. You can't, like, I know you better than you know yourself. You know? And Rolly kept it real. He like, no, I know him and Tank know all of us. You understand? Tank know all of us. So it doesn't matter how old you get, whatever. We already know each other. The data is already downloaded. You feel me? And I'm gonna keep it honest. At that time, the only person that they never had data on, and Tevin Foreman had data on him, and Shakur had data, which is Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Me personally, those are the only 2 fighters that had data on him. But me, I always felt though, if one of us American fighters that was one of the top dogs get at him, he was gonna win. And T was the first one to prove it. You know, Devin proved it. You know, A lot of people gave Devin Haney slack on it, talking about, oh, he ain't won. Devin won that fight. And the reason, all you got to do, watch the first 6 rounds, he established that jab, then here come Bill, here come Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill always want to mess something up, like he throwing dollars at a stripper. Fuck Haney, whole situation up. That's what I say. Boots and Charlo at 154? What? 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 Oh. Or Spence come back? No, Spence got to come back. Hey, yo, you know what I was thinking? I think Spence might fight Rolly. I was thinking that. I was thinking Spence might come back and fight Rolly. Because Rolly got a belt. I was thinking that. I was really thinking that. No, PBC might push that. I was thinking that. Because when you look at, Tim Tszyu already fighting. He already fighting again. Because I thought it was going to be Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman. You know? Or is this going to be between Keith Thurman or Earl Spence that's going to fight Rolly? Somebody from PBC going to fight Rolly. You know? And if you look at the storyline, Spence and Rolly got a storyline, you know? Because Rolly was always trying to move up to fight Spence, but he ended up catching a title shot at 140 when he fought the old man. Know what I mean? But yeah. And Tio, you know, if Tio can't secure the Boots fight and Boots got to fight this mandatory, Tio and Pitbull at 140. Tio and Pitbull will be a great fight at 140. If y'all hear any music in the background, I do not own none of that. Spence and Thurman would be a great fight too. That'd be a beautiful fight. Spence and Thurman would be a beautiful fight because we needed that fight years ago. That fight should have been happening years ago. You know, that fight should have been happening years ago. That's the only problem I have with Bud Crawford. Like, bro, I understand. Like when he tried to shit on Spence situation, saying Spence won't make the Hall of Fame. Bro, Spence the one that cleaned out the welterweight division. Spence the one that went around and collect every belt except for yours. You ain't fought none of the fighters Spence fought. The fighters you fought, it was all washed up. Ain't no disrespect, but I don't blame you. I blame Top Rank. Because Top Rank ain't wanted to pay that money. You understand me? You had to go out of that situation. That's what people don't know. Bud signed the PBC to fight Spence and them niggas. You know what I mean? He signed to them to fight them niggas. You know, and he still owed them niggas one more fight. He still owed one more fight, unless the Sean Porter fight was counted as the 2-fight deal. But no, I'm always said before Spence even fought Madrimov. I mean, before Bud fought Madrimov. Me personally, I thought Bud should have fought Charlo. Because if Bud would have fought Charlo, all of that, them stripping Charlo for the... Remember, Charlo ain't lose. Charlo's still the king at 154. He ain't lose. They just stripped him for his titles. And right after Bud chose Madrimov, then that corny-ass case happened. So that's what I say. He should have fought Charlo. But the key thing is, I blame Spence and them for the long delay. But I can't blame them because, remember, they always said, whoever wins, the rematch is automatic. But it never happened. You know, and so supposedly, allegedly, there's a lot of lawsuits going on in the background because of that fight. You know, allegedly, Bob Arum's son, this is not allegedly, the feds came in, he was dealing with an Irish mob member, whatever, Kingpin, whatever, the Tyson Fury, the Bud and Smith, etc. That's all into the situation. So us, we won't know nothing, we can know something if we follow the situation, but when ESPN dropped it and it became true, you know what I mean? We're going to find out. So we're going to find out. Supposedly Spence saying, people really was on PDs, people was high that night, niggas gave them a cream that, So we're going to really find out about all this, That's why I'm saying allegedly, because don't use my content. I'm trying to come on, talk all this shit. ESPN put it out there, and y'all, the news broke it. The news in motherfucking Ireland broke it, Texas broke it, Vegas broke it. So it's on the news. So don't try to come and say, Louis 1-3 said, no, y'all motherfuckers said this, and I'm just repeating what y'all motherfucking news people said, you know what I mean? That's all I'm preaching. But, if that's true, nigga, you can still fight. You know what I mean? You can still fight. You can still fight. You the one that choose to go that route. You could have just said, "Oh, nigga, get a tune-up, fight Thurman, then you come fight me." You know what I mean? But me personally, I told my son this. I thought Sean Porter beat Spence. Because when I seen that fight, I'm like, if a pure boxer, and the only two people I thought off the back was BB. BB is Bud and Boots. You know what I mean? I said, if he fight them two niggas, they gonna beat him. But the only problem I said was no, Spence can punch. But then when I'm watching him punch, I'm like, all right. But I already knew if he fought Bud or Boots, they was gonna beat him. They was gonna outperform him, outbox him. And the reason I say that because all you gotta do is go watch Derrick James. Spence fight just like Derrick James. Charlo fight just like Derrick James, but just in the orthodox stance. Remember, Derrick James was a southpaw. You got to look at it. Even when you look at Ryan, when you watch Ryan fight and go watch Charlo, Jermell fight at 154, it's similar, but it's just in a Derrick James position. They guards up, everything is like Derrick James. You know, if you never seen Derrick James fight, go watch Derrick James fight, and you're gonna be like, yo, Spence fight just like him. You feel me? And I always tell people that, you know, you're gonna fight just like your trainer. Nah, man. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr., but you fight like your father. Nah, man. You want to come across some, like, this is the problem I have with champions. You're going across seas to another person's backyard, and you're the champion. To put your title on the line. Bro, if you get robbed and raped, you can't complain. You got to remember, steroids is legal over there. Because it's not a problem. Know what I mean? If you taking asthma, that's a steroid. You understand? Because the butyrol that's in there, that's a steroid, which the VADA testing allows to happen. Why? Because some people have asthma. You feel me? Some people are like, oh, you take that, open up. Nigga might got asthma, bro. Like, what the fuck? People be crazy. It be crazy out here. It be crazy. It be crazy. And they know, when people say they eat meat and eggs and that's what popped up in their system, that should wake us up like, yo, what the fuck they putting in the meat? What the fuck is they putting in the eggs? Because it can be true. It can be true. But you know, you got, like I said, it's different strokes for different folks, man. Then we hear the Tank fight, I think it's in August, in the July, August. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like August something. You know, see how that card gonna be. I want to know who Gary Antoine Russell gonna fight. You feel me? Hey, Bob, like 2025 been good. 2025 been good. It's been a good month of boxing. A good year of boxing so far. You know, we had a lot of fights of the year candidates. You know, there's a lot of great performances of the year so far. And next year make half a year. So, you know, we gonna see what's up. So we want to see who Boots gonna fight in July. Is it gonna be as mandatory or is it gonna be T.O.? You got Raymond Ford. You know who he gonna fight. You know, but that we know of, we know that the Oshaki Foster and Cool Boy Steph Scooter is on the Tank card. You know, that's gonna be a great fight. That's gonna be a great fight. I just want to know if it's gonna be at 130. It'll be at 130, you know. Bozy got Scooter looking tremendous. Looking tremendous. Inside game crazy. With the Oshaki fight, we're gonna see, you know, Scooter inside game will always be crazy, but we're gonna see how he's gonna outbox a person, you know. Oshaki Foster, you know, he's a great opponent, you know. Champ. You know, he do what he does. But every fighter had chinks in the armor. You know, even Scooter. You know, so that's why I say by both of them coming together and putting it together, you know, this shit gonna be like a party mix bag of chips. You know what I mean? Because him and that Brandon Figueroa fight was great. Niggas just was born because Brandon was getting his ass with. A guy pulled up in some jean shorts and some trees, you know what I mean? He had the trenches in that ring. He looked good doing it, man. He put on a great performance, man. And that's what's up with a lot of these fighters out here putting on great performances, man. Ain't nothing wrong with these performances. Like I say, the only problem that's why Al Heyman was overpaying fighters, but he helped the brand build. And we got good fights, and some fights we didn't. And you watch Turkey, you know, Turkey paying these fighters. Like, yo, y'all fighters gotta show up, man. You gotta show up. Y'all complain and bitch about the money, but you got a person that's giving y'all the money, but y'all supposed to award the fans, and y'all not even awarding us for nothing. Y'all not awarding us for nothing. And then we get complaints, oh, I was the high nigga. You wasn't saying that when you was in camp. You was saying, I'm in the best shape of my life. But now when you put on a piece of shit performance, oh, I was wagering. It's like certain fighters, right? A lot of fighters be like, when they have a long delay off, if you hear any music in the background, I don't own the copyright, so please don't take down my live. When you got fighters that have a long layoff, right, and they be like, it was ring rust. Stop the excuses. That's what training camp for. Training camp is for you to knock off the rust. That's what you're sparring for, to knock off the rust. That's why it's called elite sparring. You want a problem, you get elite sparring in your situation. You tell motherfucker, you get elite people, like for instance, you seen Boots had who? See who he had in his camp. You see who he had in his camp. Porter came through, Ava came through, a lot of people came through. It's all about elite sparring. Even if it's regular sparring with an average Joe, you're still knocking off the ring rust. So by you coming into the stadium putting on the performance, there shouldn't be no ring rust. That's what's training camp for. Y'all had 3 months, 6 months of training camp. Like, come on with the BS, man. People just be making excuses, and that's the shit I be disliking. Instead of giving your other opponents, the opponent you fighting, instead of giving him his flowers, because you got to remember, it takes two to tango. Both of y'all in training camp. Is that he just watched more footage and film on you, and you couldn't do it. Now, I mean, you couldn't do nothing with the motherfucker. So that's why it's best, nigga, to watch film on your fighter. And when you watch the film, you bring in elite sparring people, elite fighters that you're going to spar with that resemble his style a little bit. You know? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. September, so July, August, September, boxing gonna be crazy. Because this month, this week we got a great card coming up this week. Rubin fighting. If I'm not mistaken, the guy in Detroit or Ohio he from, Rubin fighting on Pro Box TV this Saturday. One of my up and coming young favorite fighters, my guy Val Saint. Flash, you know? Lex. Yeah, Tank doing that rematch in August. Right in August. The Central Park fight. If it really happened, like we gotta understand how that shit was, cause I would have went to the motherfucking joint at Times Square if that shit was free like that, you know what I mean? I would have went to that joint, Central Park joint, yeah, I'd go. I'd definitely pop up at that joint. You know? I'd definitely pop up at that joint. And especially, it's bringing boxing back to the East Coast. You know what I mean? Bringing boxing right back to the East Coast. And that joint be crazy, that shit big. Central Park hustle, that shit big. That thing gonna look crazy because Times Square joint look crazy. That shit look crazy. And people showed up. They ain't show y'all that full event. I heard that shit was like, that shit was crowded out there. They said that shit was crowded. I'm telling y'all. They said that shit was crowded. They said one of the biggest attendance ever. You hear Rody talking about it, and we only see a portion of it. Just what we see right there. They said that shit was over 100,000 people there. Yeah. They said, they said that shit was lit. He definitely said that shit was lit. Especially with this that Central Park joint, that joint will be what? That joint will be crazy. That joint will be crazy. Well, yeah, my guy Blast Val Saint fight this weekend. I'm telling y'all, he's a problem. Val Saint a problem. He's from Florida. He's a problem. And shout out to the Bodie from Puerto Rico, Najee Lopez. Najee Lopez a problem. Them boys are problems, man. Them two boys. Like up and coming, keep an eye out on them, y'all. The boys a problem. The boys a problem. Once they Najee disciplined. When you watch Najee Lopez, Listen to his corner. He's disciplined. He's patient, but he get the job done. Blast, dynamite. Dynamite, y'all. He's dynamite. And he got dynamite in both hands. I agree with you. I agree with you. And the reason I agree with you because it would have gave us a better perspective and seen the real blueprint of how it would have been. You know, because you see how they blocked off some of the streets and shit of Times Square, but in Central Park we would have had that shit big. That shit big. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. You know, but we would have seen the blueprint to it, but I guess now we gotta see. I wanna know who's gonna be the main events there. The outcome this time, I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm gonna be honest. If Tank not with Coach Cal, I don't know. You know, but one thing, them brothers know each other. You know, they know each other. So even when you watch the fights in the amateurs, it's gonna always be a draw. It's gonna always be a draw. You know, you know, both fighters took a knee in that fight. You know, nobody talks about the 11th round when Lamont took a knee. You know, you can go back and rewatch the fight. Oh, Tank pushed him. No, Tank punched him. He leaned forward. So when he leaned forward, he went like that. So he took a knee too. His glove touched the canvas. His glove touched the canvas. You know? Because Charlo was trying to do what Tank did. But the only thing with Charlo was that he took that hit and when he tried to step back. Because, you know, when I was growing up, where it was, you know, as long as you're not getting hit and let's say your plants is falling, your tape, your glove, too much grit, like too much Vaseline or something in your eye, and you're telling the referee during the fight, the referee is not going to listen to you because you should know the rules and the referee know the rules. Now, I mean, long as you ain't getting punched, long as no punch ain't hit you, you can take 3 steps back, kneel, lift your hand up, and turn to the referee. And the referee's supposed to call a timeout and take you back to the corner. But it's like, all of these fighters now, they know that. But it's like, what agenda y'all pushing? What agenda y'all pushing? Because referees tell you can go look this shit up. You can go buy the rule book yourself. It's on there. That's why I tell people, like, what the fuck going on? And that's why I tell you, because I told my son the same thing. And when my son, he said, damn, because I told him, I said, when we was young, and we went to the gym, we ain't go straight to the bag. We ain't do pad work. Nigga, the first 3 months, the 6 months, you learn footwork and you learn the rules of boxing. He said, Tank on that I don't know, that's a tough fight. You know, I like Keyshawn a lot. You know, I always say Keyshawn the dog, you know, but this De Los Santos fight, you know, De Los Santos, he's different. He's a dog. You know, he got beat Rayo, knocked Rayo out. You know, the Shakur fight, me personally, I thought De Los Santos won that fight because he was the more aggressor. You know, he landed more punches, really. He was throwing more punches. But, you know, WBC gave it the core, you know, because they got a relationship with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what they gave him that fight. But this, I'm telling y'all, this is a big fight. This is a big fight. That fight should be a pay-per-view fight. Keyshawn De Los Santos should be a pay-per-view fight, especially Keyshawn going back to his hometown. He's going to sell him. He's going to make $1 million off the tickets easy. You know what I mean? He's going to put asses in seats like that. But it all depends. It all depends on Top Rank. What Top Rank is. That's why I say Top Rank. They dropped the ball. They got pay-per-view stars. But you know, every time them guys is up on their contract, they end up suing them guys because they be suing them. Because the fighters be suing Top Rank because y'all promised to make them pay-per-view stars and you're not fulfilling your obligations to what you promised them. Because Shakur should have been a pay-per-view star. Bud Crawford should have been a pay-per-view star. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if you going to their hometown. Like every time he went to Omaha, that shit was sold out. It was sold out. You look at the views on ESPN, like, bro, it's turning shit into a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And I think they dropping the ball now too. You know, you got the guy Raymond Tevin Ford, pay-per-view star. Lilio Vargas out there, pay-per-view star. Keyshawn, pay-per-view star. Plus his brothers coming, and his brothers, well, they either on the prelims and on the undercard. They putting on great performances themselves. You know? But oh yeah, another thing with the Keyshawn, right? This is second elite fighter that he's fighting. The first elite fight we seen him fight Namir Albright. And it was a great fight, you know, but it was a great fight. You know, you seen chinks in certain people's armor, and some people, you know, people call it, oh, he got exposed. And when you watch the fight, they never put Keyshawn in there with a fighter like that again. They just gave you all easy fights. Now he don't want them easy fights. He want the hard fights. You hear what he calling for. And now he got what he wants. Because Berechek was a piece of shit. Gustavo Lemos was weight drained. He was weight drained. Like, you know? If I was Keyshawn Davis, I'd eat off the last name Davis. You know? You let the world know that it's 2-10. And this is the biggest name in boxing. That last name, the Davis name, is the biggest name in boxing. You should eat off that last name. And what I mean by that, you see what Tank at. Gervonta Tank Davis. So you come behind, and the same thing Tank doing, you already doing. You already looking better. You already looking good. You doing the same shit he doing. You going in, you getting your opponents out the way. Know what I mean? It's called the Davis mentality. And just eat off the last name, that is going to catapult you to a whole different level. Now it's all about how top rank level your career. You know? Because I promise you, if they make Keyshawn and De Los Santos pay-per-view, I mean, just all honesty, $25K is good just for a first time. But I got them doing $50K to $150K in pay-per-view buys. Keyshawn and De Los Santos, I got them doing that. But even like I said, even if it's 25 to 50K in pay-per-views, that's still good. That's still good for a first timer. You know what I mean? Because I watch everybody always say, well, Tank had Floyd Mayweather. Well, didn't Bob Arum top rank made Oscar De La Hoya Floyd Mayweather pay-per-view stars? Didn't Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, right? He made Canelo a star, Floyd Mayweather a star, right? Pay-per-view stars, right? So y'all can't put that stigma just on Tank, because the first time we seen Tank was on Floyd undercard on a pay-per-view fight. All of these fighters create, all of these promotional companies create pay-per-view stars. Is that sometimes, you know, when they know they got somebody, they just want to, you know, leech and milk that fighter. That's how I look at things, you know? That's how I look at it, but keep showing all them niggas right now, they should be pay-per-view stars. We're becoming pay-per-view stars on another level. Tank, like I said, Tank got to go back to Coach Cal. He got to go back to Coach Cal. Like, that's home base, bro. It's home base. But the key thing is, they all friends. That's why I tell people, all of these niggas friends. All these niggas spar each other. They all friends. And all Tank did is just, you know, same thing he did for Pitbull. Because me, I thought Pitbull beat Tank. If anybody beat Tank, Pitbull beat Tank. Because with Lamont, y'all, everybody talking about this 9th round shit. Tank will fight Keyshawn. But as they know, Keyshawn just earned, you know, he's earning. He's earning. And it's not like, see, it's the politics in the game. You know, if you're a fighter, you're a boxer, you're not scared to fight nobody. You're not scared to fight nobody. And what people got to understand with Tank is a pay-per-view star. That's why I say Top Rank be dropping the ball. Because, all right, let's say Top Rank may turn this fight into a pay-per-view fight with Keyshawn and De Los Santos. All Keyshawn just need that fight and 3 more fights under a pay-per-view status, which is going to catapult him, and the fight can happen. That's what people don't understand about the 50-50 fight. The 50-50 fight is, when I was growing up, it's your power. Your power. If you're a knockout artist and you're a knockout artist, it's a 50-50 fight. If y'all both pay-per-view stars like Pacquiao Mayweather, Canelo Mayweather, Oscar Mayweather, etc., that's what makes shit a 50-50 fight. But when you got a person, there's no shade, no blame. How can you call a Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis a 50-50 fight if Shakur not knocking nobody out? That's number one. How can you call it a 50-50 fight if he's not even a pay-per-view star? That's number two. The information I got from the people, the sources at BBC camp is Jake Paul and Tank, they was only announcing that fight and make that fight happen because Canelo and Bud. You know, and Canelo and Jake Paul was supposed to fight. But I'm gonna keep it real. The biggest fight in boxing is Canelo Benavidez. It's Canelo Benavidez. Because Canelo already got lost. So if Bud beat Canelo, what do it do? Like, if you think it's gonna help your career, but me personally, like, the niggas got losses. Beat the niggas that ain't got losses. Everybody that gotta whoop their ass, take they donut, eat it, and send them on their way. Tell them to go back to Dunkin' Donuts and try and take somebody else's donut. Hey, Lord, I be trying to send a link. I don't know how to send that shit. But the T.O. John, when he was saying what he was saying, I posted, John. I do not own the copyrights to none of that music y'all hear in the background. I posted, John. I posted. I'm gonna be real, man. Like I tell people, man. Oh my God, these motherfuckers, yo. I do not own the copyrights to none of this fucking music, man. These people be drawn, yo. Especially YouTube. They want to give you copyright. I don't. Cars driving by. Me personally, you know. Yeah, I don't know what to think. People just soft now, man. You know, the way he said it, the ER, like, nigger, like, bro, we niggas, man. We all niggas. You know what I mean? And the information that I know about a nigga, you know, it was, in the Moorish community in America, you know, we label each other kings and queens. You know, I watch a lot of people, you know, because his ethnicity, right? And this is what I came to give my people, everybody here. You know, we all mixed people. You know, we the same people. You know, when I was upstate in the prison, right? I learned black, brown. You know, we all know black and brown is not a motherfucking race. It's not a nationality. It's nothing. So they label us black and brown people because we're dead people. You know, I'm gonna give y'all game. Now I ain't talking boxing. I'm giving y'all game. I'm giving you the Siren game, the Security Party game, the State National game. I'm giving you the game out of the Black Law Dictionary, out of the Redemption Manual. I'm giving you game of UCC paperwork, the Rural Republic of America, the way we supposed to be living, not in a democracy, not in commerce, commercial law. I'm giving you game. The reason they label us black people and brown people, you got to remember, before we was black, we was brown and colored and black. Then in 1983, bitch ass Jesse Jackson, the bitch ass nigga that helped kill Martin Luther King, because Jesse Jackson's a CIA agent in 1983. When you get off this live and you got another phone, you can look it up. Jesse Jackson created the word African American. Now, I'm gonna give y'all game. I'm gonna give you game. When our mothers gave birth, or when our baby mothers gave birth, they forced our women to fill out paperwork so they can get a social security card and a birth certificate. Once they fill that out, you're assigning a dead birth certificate and a dead social security number. Now, the money that we're supposed to get from our sovereignty, the $2 million every year in the credit line, goes to who? The straw man. You understand me? And every month you get paid. If everybody ever heard of the P, if you're in Pennsylvania, the PUA, remember around COVID, niggas was getting that free money, that unemployment. No, that's how life's supposed to really be. You understand me? Because terrorists keep money in our pocket. Even if you're not working, you get thousands of dollars just through terrorists. An example, that's why the Democrats don't want you to know that. But I'm going to give you game. When you go, you can buy the Redemption Manual, you can do all of that. As long as you keep identifying yourself as a black person, or a brown person, or a white person, you're dead. You're a dead person. We all dead entities right now until we get our real birth certificate. You understand me? That's why they label us a color, because we're dead people to them. They're our straw man, they collect our money. The word racism was created by L.L. Buffoon. If I'm not mistaken, it was 1893 or 1863. I just want my dates correct, so I'm giving y'all the truth. Look up L.L. Buffoon, the guy that created the word race and racism. He created it, patented it, and get paid. All right, bet. No, Benavidez and Billy be a beautiful fight. Niggas sleep on him Billy, man. I like him Billy a lot. He up there with the Eye of the Tiger niggas. You know what I mean? I like my guy H Money. He got a fighter up there. He's a monster at 175. Steve Claggett, that the guy Teal fight. I like Steve Claggett a lot because he come to give you a fight. But the only problem, they rob him for his fights. They rob that guy, bro. They be robbing Steve Claggett. But Eye of the Tiger got some great fighters. I'm gonna send you it, Lo. I'm gonna send you that, John. But yeah, getting back to that situation, because when I was upstate, I watched my cellies in Pennsylvania. I watched my cellies. They shut a lot of state jails down here because a lot of us that went to Virginia came back. A lot of them became sirens, and they just was breaking it down. But the point I'm getting to is, right, when you watch people say, "Yo, I'm half Indian," you're not half Indian. You're half Native American, which is the same people we are. You understand me? The Indians that you see and you have, same person I am, same person that is, it's the same person. Y'all saying, we all the same people. We all the same people. We all the same people. Understand? So when you say you half Indian, this is the half Native that you is. The Native American, this is the half that you is. Tell about the good hair, tell about our, this is no pity, no homo. I mean, our shit like, we husky niggas, you know what I mean? We strong, brolic, African, motherfucker, yo. I'm not on the copyright, y'all. That shit crazy, man. Fucking nigga live up all day for nothing. All right. No, we all the same people. But you just got these halal bilal ass niggas in the back that just like J. Edgar Hoover said, the next revolutions that is going to be made is going to be the person we make. So that's how we get the mice on, the Tamika Mallory's, all of these halal bilal ass niggas preaching something that's not true. And then when you go learn the truth, for instance, I got a clip, right? Well, Malcolm X said, he was talking about Dick Gregory, he was talking about all of them. Malcolm X said, he said, J. Edgar Hoover, they hiring comedians and celebrities to mislead and misguide all of y'all and get me out the way. And they did get him out there. They did got Malcolm out the way. The CIA killed that nigga from the roof. Who? Still? I don't know. I call right here, but niggas still everywhere, you know what I mean? If I get a chance, I'll check my joint. When I go back upstairs, I check my joint. My name June. I check that joint, make sure you cool. If they did, they come this way, I check.
I had one on there earlier, and I got cameras in the crib, so I was watching that shit, bro. I'm a tree.
Yeah, that's how you leave it.
Bro, like, bro, niggas still everything. It was dog oil, bro. Like, oil for a dog.
Wow.
So in my head, I'm like, bro, y'all really got me damn bad, bro. You know,
I'm gonna check for you though. If that check, 9 times 10, they probably walk this way.
Good, bro.
I got you, bro.
Good. You say you heard
I mean, likewise. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, they be still on this shit. Check my camera screen and shit. But you know, like I say, man, to each his own. But you know, T.O. doing too much though. Like, bro, like you using the ER now, and you know how just being in America, you know how they got our mind all fucked up just about, oh, use a nigger. Like, bro, you don't see no shit like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, we understand you doing shit for promotion, but this is the wrong day and age to do that shit. So this is the cancel culture era, and the whole thing, the cancel culture be a bunch of rainbow motherfuckers in the background going. You know what I mean? And that's all it really be. That's all it really be. But like I said, with the Malcolm X situation, they killed Malcolm through the roof. They had holes in the roof and killed Malcolm. Then they trying to blame it on the guy from the Nation of Islam and shit, and that was corny. You know what I mean? But you know, the point I was getting with Malcolm X is he did an interview. What was the guy that was talking to him that did the interview and shit? And he started breaking down how the government used celebrities as influencers to misguide the people. And when you look at it now, when COVID happened, they go get LeBron James, stuff that. Who the fuck believe in them niggas? Who the fuck want to believe Diddy, aka Baby Oil Combs? Like, who the fuck want to believe Baby Oil Combs? Like, come on, man. Then you putting LeBron out there. Yeah, y'all niggas ain't taking no shots. They ain't got nothing to do with the hood. We don't listen to them people. Nah, man. We don't listen to the people. It's just like you see their agenda in the early 2000s. How you had celebrities, bro. You in the streets every day. You get your first $1 million. You want to catch a case? Who the fuck do that? You get your first $1 million. You want to walk around with no security, nigga? You walked around your whole life with no security and survived in these streets just to get signed and do the dumbest shit in the world. And then this the shit I dislike. The word street nigga. I want to know what the fuck is a street nigga. Because when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, the only niggas that was in the streets was the hustlers, the smokers, and the homeless. If you rob niggas, you not in the streets. You a car nigga. You sitting in a car. You sitting in that nigga house lamping. You understand? If you burglarize, you a house nigga. You in a house taking you nigga shit. Because you only had, listen, my parents always told me, you gonna be a working nigga, you gonna be a gangster, which is a nigga that be killing niggas, you gonna be a robber, you gonna be a faggot, or you gonna be a rat. Nowadays, everybody all 5 in 1. Everybody think they Alpo, but people gotta remember, Alpo wasn't a king. He just a nigga that was getting work, that robbed there and they gave him work. The nigga was a shooter. And one thing about the shooter was always the dirty nigga. The broke, dirty nigga was always the shooter. You understand me? And he was the nigga that always told. Yo, he was the nigga that always told. Hey, Rob, I see who y'all got. I see who y'all got. But he ain't gonna do shit.
Okay.
Hey, listen, the problem is that. The problem is that. The problem is that. What's up, cuz? Yeah.
The problem is not that. I
It's
heard,
that,
I
bro.
heard
That gotta go.
everything you said. I heard on the phone. I slipped on the phone. I heard
That gotta go. That gotta go. That gotta go.
You see what he got,
Yo,
though?
God.
You see what we got? What, CD Lamb and him? Shh. Who gonna do something?
It's Dak. It's Dak, man. I promise you it's Dak. Watch. Dak gonna fuck that whole situation up. Them balls lit. I'm trying to tell y'all. The NFC East is lit.
Alright, Billy.
Best division. Them niggas lit. I just all about what the Giants do.
No, then what the Commanders do.
The Commanders gonna fail.
No, they
No. The reason I say that.
Redskins got some. They got.
Nah, they got too much. The two teams I'm predicting it now. The two teams I got coming out the NFC East is Eagles and Cowboys. Unless it be 3. Like last time, remember it was the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants.
Y'all
The year Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Y'all did your thing. Y'all did your thing.
No, they
We ain't do nothing. We fell.
They screaming
That's
Tyreek
why
Hill.
I'm saying
bro.
right now we ain't falling this time.
I'm glad they got Darius Goddard back though. They signed him back.
Oh man, what do you?
Man, he's the blocker. I like him for blocking. He's the best blocker. If you got any other tight end, they're not going to do what Darius Goddard do to create them holes.
What you gonna do? Oh, my man.
Y'all got the people. That's why receiver crazy.
Pittsburgh. He came from Pittsburgh, right?
That shit. See, he's going to tighten Jerry. Excuse me, y'all, but I'm talking to my uncle about this motherfucking dollars shit. But yo, he's going to oh yeah, this is my uncle right here, the number one dollars fan. Number one dollars fan. Number one dollars fan.
Yup. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, this shit gonna be crazy.
The league gonna be crazy. The league gonna be
Nah, NFC East gonna be sick. Them boys gonna what?
And then we ain't even finished signing nobody. You heard what he said? You heard what Jerry Jones said? We ain't finished signing nobody yet.
Who y'all coach?
Oh,
Y'all got a new one, right?
Shana,
Something, y'all got a new one, right?
Yeah, that's C8 something.
They gonna be a problem. That wide receiver corps gonna be crazy.
They don't know who getting the ball.
That shit be crazy. Now, cause all CD gotta do is just stay short. Cause this nigga Pickens too fast. He's gonna catch every long ball. You And that's what I said. People gonna hop in Jerry Jones' ass because he don't play that. He don't play that.
It's Dak, like you said.
Yeah, it's Dak. But Dak gonna look good in the regular season.
He better look good.
He always look good in just the postseason, man.
I think he get it.
Yeah, he the Tony Romo right now.
All
All right, cuz.
right.
All right. Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo right now. Yeah, the Dodgers definitely had they run like the Bulls. I'm still a Chicago Bulls fan, you know what I mean? I love my Sixers, but I'm gonna always be a Bulls fan. I'll never switch up on my team. You know, like my home team, the Eagles, but you know, I'm always a Colts fan. I love the NFL. Like boxing and football, my favorite sport. You know, basketball used to be today. You know, you just started seeing the shit like, yo, y'all doing too much. But yesterday game was crazy. The Knicks pulled that shit off. I was watching the game. It down by 20, coming back. Yo, that game was crazy yesterday. That game was crazy. In that Pacer game, the first game they won, that shit was crazy. They pulled that shit off. They pulled it off. They pulled that joint off. For me personally, I think Anthony Edwards, I don't know. You know how they like, you look at storylines and shit. And when you watch the storylines and you watch commercials, you can tell that they're trying to make Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA. And you see the teams he playing. You know, they like every team he playing right now. You know, this is what I think. If Denver beats OKC, my prediction is we just watch Anthony Edwards beat Los Angeles, a championship team. LeBron won the shit. If they beat Golden State, Anthony Edwards beat another championship team, Golden State. If Denver beat OKC and Minnesota end up seeing Denver in the finals, and they win, that made the storyline Anthony Edwards beat 3 championship teams. And who's the 4th? It's just like I want y'all to see this, right? Here it is. Alright? I want y'all to hear this. Watch the commercial with New York, right? You had the whole Villanova staff. James Wright, Brunson and them. Remember, they had Demichenko the hat. He put on the Villanova hat. That commercial shows me that New York and Minnesota going to the chip. That's what I believe. Yeah. Hey, Lex, the 29th of this month, Big Charlo fight. He fight Cornflake. Him and Cornflake fight La Mena and shit. He fight him this month on the 29th. He on the Caleb Plant and Resende fight and shit. That's all May 29th. So Big Charlo coming back. The press conference was funny. You know, you see Caleb Plant, you know, aware. Caleb Plant was gonna smack the shit out of him again. If Zion go to New York, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But word is, Greek the Freak. You know, Greek the Freak talking some New York shit. If Greek go to New York, that shit crazy. You know, but Zion to fit good there. Zion to fit good. You know? But if Greek land there, you got Greek, Anthony Towns, motherfucking Brunson, what's the guy? Mikel and Josh Hart on the floor. That shit gonna be murdered. Them on the floor are gonna be murdered. But that'll be dangerous. Even if they get Zion, that'll be dangerous on the floor, man. That'll be dangerous. You know, the Sixers, I don't know what the fuck they gonna do. Like, they need to keep the young boy at Painted Nails, Jerry McCain. Keep him. I'm telling y'all, keep him. Now, I mean, Maxie, you got to build around them. A B got to do something, yeah? Because, like, one thing about the Sixers when we had Billy King, like, bro, You bring in all hurt players. You draft hurt players, man. We don't need that. First of all, you never should have got rid of Ben Simmons. You know what I mean? You never should have got rid of Jimmy Butler. You should have got rid of Tobias Harris. Now, when you look at Detroit, when you're watching Detroit, Tobias was looking good for Detroit, and he was looking good for us. Yeah, I believe you. Zion can definitely run that motherfucker floor. Yeah, I got family out writing that shit. My cousin Tito and them niggas, man. My cousin Tito, he work at the barbershop called Goodfellas Barbershop up in Renton. Yeah, he work up there and shit. Did they have it? No, mama, they had it? Yeah. Don't worry about that. Come on, what? Motherfucker white back crazy right there. Yeah, but shit, I hope the fucking Philadelphia Sixers grab Zion or some motherfucker. We need somebody. Man. Oh, right, we need somebody. Know what I mean? Because 2-point P, they call him podcast P. Call that nigga 2-point P. 2-point P ain't cutting up. That nigga cutting up. Little rat shit. I can shoot better than that. I come in, nah, man. Fuck wrong with 2-point P. If you score 2 point, nigga, I can score 4 points. I mean, probably 4-point Louis. I can score 4 points. That nigga's gonna score 2 points. I mean, he's the James Harden of the NBA too. Just like James Harden. Remember James Harden? He had what? He had like 6 points, 8 points. The first time OKC and Miami played back in 2011. I blame Trina. Trina told James Harden, don't score, because if you score, you don't get no coochie. That nigga ain't scored, nigga. But the next thing you know, French Montana all in Trina's guts. Then James Harden catching feelings. You know what I mean? Yo, this playoff series, Chris, New York did that shit. I don't know how they did it. Because I thought it was over. I was a couple, like 8 to 7 minutes left of the fourth quarter. I'm higher than motherfucker. I'm going to go sleep. Wake up. Niggas won. And I started watching the Andre Ward and James Prince interview and shit. I ended up passing out. They won. I wake up. They won by 1. I said, wow. They pulled that shit off. Them boys was balling. And Brunson ain't really had nothing to the fourth quarter. He turned that shit to the max in the fourth quarter. All the way up. All straight max. Straight to the max. He turned, them boys, man. I don't be wrong. I'm mad that they got rid of Devichenko. I'm really mad, when Mikal Bridges come in, Villanova was there. Still, the Villanova Knicks. The boys doing good. He's doing good. But give Townsend the ball more too, though, so he can score. You gotta give him the ball more feeding him, they look like the 05 motherfucking Mavericks, right? Dallas Mavericks when Don Nelson was coaching them. But yeah, Steve Nash, motherfucker, Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Foley, Jason Kidd, yeah, all of them. Dallas still my team too, though. Dallas Mavericks, I like Dallas Mavericks. I always liked them. Dirk was my guy. The reason, like Dirk and Paul Pierce was my guy because the Sixers was supposed to draft them niggas and we ended up drafting somebody else. What B.B. King, Billy King ass. Billy King. That motherfucker, man. Hey, y'all need to listen. We had a championship team back in 97. We had, it was Allen Iverson, Larry Hughes. These was the Flight brothers. Allen Iverson, Larry Hughes, Jim Jackson, Theo Radcliffe. What was the fucking other boy name? Man, we had Tim Thomas. Bro, we had a fucking team. And Larry Brown, the coach. Bro, we had a murderous team, 97, 98. Larry Brown break all of that shit up. Bitch ass nigga. He break all of that shit up. But then you had a similar team in Detroit, just like you had in Philly 97 and 98. And they take you to the chip. You know what I mean? You could have had your first chip in Philly before y'all played the Lakers. Know what I mean? But No, once the Lakers won, like me personally, like once Kobe won, Philly still win. That's how I look at it. As long as Kobe got 5 rings, Philly got 5 rings. Nah, man, I just wanted AI with a ring. AI deserve that shit, man, because y'all ain't give Barkley. Barkley deserves the ring, man. And those one of the 2 greatest players that ain't won a fucking ring. Nah, man, that ain't won a ring, man. And like nowadays, y'all making sure that these great players get rings. But sometimes y'all showing busts like Greg Odom was a bust. I don't know how the fuck Greg Odom became the first pick when KD should have went first. Cooper Flag. Oh, hopefully somebody, man. You gotta get somebody, man. Now, but here, we need a young big man. No, even though we got Boner, but like, bro, put them in. You gotta put these brothers in, man, and give them a chance and opportunity. Because I'm gonna be real. In all honesty, every college, listen, these young kids, they been balling since elementary school. You know, I'm one of them. I know everybody on here one of them. You know, a lot of us really know how to play the game. And you know what makes me mad? When an NBA player or a commentary say, "Oh, y'all don't know nothing about." How the fuck we don't know nothing about the game? Well, we out on the streets just like y'all was out on the streets playing this game every day. We the ones that's giving y'all the ratings on motherfucking TV because we watching y'all. Don't you know? You know these niggas be, yo, travel all day. I remember it used to be 2 steps. So you bounce the ball, 2 steps. These niggas taking 3 steps. These niggas, I'm in Philly. So I'm down Kennington Avenue all the way fucking on the Broad Street. That's over 2 miles. These niggas they running 2 miles. Like, yo, the ball don't touch the floor for nothing. Back then, no, now they don't even do that. They let people play. Like Jalen Brunson, the game 1. I tweeted this shit, right? I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? The game closed, right? You see him dribbling the ball. It's like, what, like 8 seconds left. No, it was like 10 seconds left in the fourth before the game was going on. The nigga dribbling the ball, right? Instead of passing it to Mikal Bridges, I was like, this nigga crazy. But they still won the game, though. But me personally, I thought he was trying to get the game on. And then yesterday, it was all bullshit calls. All bullshit calls. Like when you seen OG, right when OG went up for the dunk, and the guy wasn't even in the circle. He wasn't even still in the circle. And they ain't run back that replay, right? But when, I tell you, yeah, this is the second time you heard about this fucking music, man. Not on the copyrights to none of this shit. But when, what's this guy name? My guy name, man. When he did the dunk on Boston, then he ran back the replay and shit. I was like, wow. Like y'all, like the ref really was helping. This shit reminded me of the Chief. The referees was helping Boston trying to get that victory. And just waking up and you pull that shit off, man. That's why I really turned the game off. I was like, yo, like, what the fuck, these referees really trying to help these motherfuckers win. What's up, y'all? Nah, man. Cooper Flag, though? Hope so. We gotta get somebody, man. We gotta get somebody. Because we got them. They just don't let these young kids ball, man. Everything is a problem. They gotta let these young motherfuckers ball. They gotta let these ball. You definitely do. But yeah, this Saturday, y'all, Pro Box TV. Yo, go check out Blas Val Saint. I promise y'all. Blas Val Saint and the Puerto Rican kid, Najee Lopez. I'm telling y'all. Them boys special. Them 2 boys special. They my young man. Son, they got next. Them 2 guys got next. They got next. You're gonna like Najee, you're gonna see how disciplined he is. He's patient. You know, he listened to the corner very, very well. You know, Najee Lopez, man. Blast gonna give you what you want. I promise you. Blast gonna go in there and give you what you want. He gives you what you want. You know, Pro Box put on. Shout out to Pro Box TV. Pro Box put on. They be having some great fights. The fights used to come on Wednesdays, but now they on Saturdays. Great, something lovely to see. You know what I mean? Keep boxing up. Definitely keep boxing up. You know? Dang. Here, fight week here, baby. Fight week here. Fight week here, but what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm gonna put the joint on the chart. Hey Yoda, Lex, hey Low, I'm gonna send you the joint. Now I know your motherfucking Instagram. Low Nose Boxing. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna create another link right now. I'm gonna go on what you call that, restream, because I got a restream, but I'm gonna send y'all the link through there. Because right here I just upload here. So give me a second, I'm gonna hop right back on and go on the restream so we all can cook the fuck up. Shakur, I want to know who's going to be his next opponent. I want to know who's going to be his next opponent, but Schofield talking about Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer was talking about Schofield. They just called him about that fight. But Shakur should be fighting him. But you know the Cepeda fight, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I think they said July, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's July. They fight July. But I'm gonna have the information and the exact date on the next slide. But I think he fight July, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's July. I think July 12th, if I'm not mistaken, they should be fighting. I'm seeing for a fact. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Payne. Yeah, July 12th. Yeah, correct. July 12th. They fight on July 12th. Edgar Berlanga, you know, main event. Yeah, July 12th. Which I'm gonna be all honesty, dumb. They should be the motherfucking main event. So anything he said, he was speaking the truth. Edgar Berlanga shouldn't never took it like that. You gotta understand, you know, how people word something. Sometimes people get offended, but it's the truth. Shakur Stevenson is a bigger name than both of them. Even Williams and Pater, you know. But we know Edgar Berlanga for the 17th, this first 16 first round knockouts that he got. But Shakur Stevenson and Williams and Pater is a bigger fight. You know what I mean? Than Hamza and motherfucking Berlanga. You know what I mean? And this is the fight people have been wanting for the last 2.5 years, really 3 years, in Pater and Shakur. Besides the tank fight, niggas always wanted to do Williams and Pater versus Shakur. So July 12th, that's my cousin's birthday too. It was anniversary. We're gonna see, you know what I mean? I got a core in that fight. I got a core in that fight. You know, because he already downloaded the data just watching Tevin Farmer. You know, but at the end of the day, Shakur don't, you know, he in and out, but he not slipping, bobbing, and weaving how Tevin Farmer was doing. So we're gonna see. But Shakur can knock him out. You know, by the 7th, 8th round, Williams and Pater, he coming. He's gonna throw over 100 punches around like a motherfucking machine. So even if he land, I mean, look, it's a good fight. That's a good fight. But let me hop back on here, run up this restream. I'm gonna hop back on here. When I get the restream, I'm gonna put it right here, the link under here. But everybody else, I'm gonna send y'all that shit. That's what I'm hearing. He getting shots. I want to know what kind of shots he getting in his hand. You know what I mean? I want to know what kind of shots he getting in his hand. We definitely got to find out what kind of shots he getting in his hand. Because I know it's steroids. You know, what's that shit called? Cortisone, right? That cortisone they shooting. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get back at y'all. Hey, yo, I'm gonna get back at you too. I'm gonna put the link in my joint, but I'm gonna try to find y'all joint. But I'm gonna go on restream. Give me like an hour. I'm going restream and redo this shit. I'm gonna get at y'all. It's gonna be called the cook up hour, so we all can fucking cook up. You know what I mean? So I promise y'all, the next time we on live, we all gonna be on here together cooking up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go through restream and I'm gonna set this motherfucker up. All right. Have a beautiful day, y'all. Dollar. See y'all on the grid. Let's get it.